What's up, guys? Welcome to A Reseller's Life. My name is Chris, and this is my 9-part series on building your ideal eBay business. I imagine this will be my most watched series ever. So let's get straight into the content. I define an ideal eBay business as a business that gives you the wealth and the time to live your schedule the way that you want to live it. So that's going to be different for everyone. Robin in our Facebook group says that she has 5 hours to work on her business and she wants to make every minute count. I think that's a very great attitude. You need to be intentional. You need to make every minute count because when you're building a store, every single detail matters. So in part 1, we're going to be talking about building a baseline. Okay, so this is establishing a baseline. I call this reset to zero. So please smash the like button, comment 0 below. You're going to reset everything to 0. Because once you have an actual scorecard, once you know what you're actually doing, then it's really easy to make improvements. So we're going to talk about how to reset your store. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Chris. I make a full-time living reselling online. I just sell common items. If you want to check out my store, it's called Daily Refinement. ebay.com/str/daily refinement. You can look through my items. I just crossed over 13,000 items listed. Let me look at the newly listed items. I sell common mall brand clothing for the most part. I got tired of looking for holy grails and treasure hunting, so I really just sell common items at scale. So if you want to check out my store, go ahead. I do roughly $40,000 a month in sales. With my current trend, I'm trending $937,000 in sales this year. And the reason why I know that is because I'm currently listing over 200 items a day. So if I just maintain that pace the rest of the year, my sales should roughly triple over the next 6 months, going from around $1,500 a day to $4,500 a day, which is where I want to be. So first off, maybe pause the video for a second. Definitely smash the like button. And you have to think of a goal that's actually exciting enough for you to want to do this. This is going to take a long time. There is no shortcut. As my colleague, Tech and Sports, would say, if you're looking for a shortcut, you might get cut short. There are no shortcuts in this. It takes a long time. You have to take the stairs. You have to slowly build your store over time. If you want to go to the performance tab on eBay, you can see how much traffic eBay gives you. You can see how much traffic they're giving your store. So even though you're listing more items, maybe they're not going to just immediately give you more impressions and more sales. I'm right now at around 400 to 500 sales per week, and I'm listing way more than that. I'm listing like 1,000 items per week right now and growing. So these are the metrics that you need to set in place. How many average listings do you have per week? How many average sales do you have per week? How much time are you spending on reselling? These are the big ones. How much time are you spending? How many average listings go up? That's really the only 2 numbers you need to know. You don't need to watch a whole bunch of YouTube. All you need to know is how productive are you actually every single week? Are you getting new listings up? Are you finding good items? Or have you just switched to selling common items and you're just working on volume? If you list more items than the last week, you're probably going to make more money. That's just how this works. Over time, I've met thousands of resellers doing this since 2017. I've never met anybody who improves their listing habit and doesn't make more money. It's impossible. There's the recipe to grow your store, which is just grow your listing habit each week and you'll be good. So I want to go over a few other things that I want you to do. I want you to make sure that you have 0 unread messages. So click on the messages section here. Make sure that you've answered all the questions from eBay, all the questions from members. It's important to 0 that out maybe once or twice a day. I do it when I wake up and I do it a couple times throughout the day. I do everything from my computer because it's a lot faster than my phone. Number 2, 0 unanswered questions. So here you can click on this unanswered questions and it'll show I have 12 unanswered questions. You can either respond to the customer or click mark as answered and that will make it go away. I recommend you 0 this out too. Tech and Sports, my colleague, would say you should literally respond to all those people. Sometimes it doesn't require a response, so I don't, but definitely 0 that out anyway because you don't want eBay to think that you have anything pending. If you need additional help, you can join our Facebook group. It's called the Resellers Podcast Facebook group. You can sign up for it at patreon.com. It does cost money because it's hard for us to put this group together. It's $35 a month, and we have 9 live coaching sessions with you. If you need help, you can talk to 5 different coaches that net more than 6 figures a year reselling. There's no other group like this that talks about reselling where every single person that runs it makes 6 figures, and they can show you the ropes. So I comfortably make 6 figures reselling on eBay, and I can try to answer any question you have. But the Oracle, Tech and Sports, his store is exactly 3 times as big as mine. So he is already where I want to go. This is important because if you find somebody that's already done what you want to do, it's easier. You can just follow them. Okay, you don't have to be creative when it comes to reselling. You can just follow somebody who's already done it before you. Why reinvent the wheel? There's nothing secret about what I do. All my items are just items you can get at a garage sale or a thrift store. 99% of my items you can get for between $1 and $5 and sell for between $15 and $30. And if you don't know what to sell, you can literally go into my store and just look at the kinds of brands that I sell. It's like Calvin Klein, Hurley, Abercrombie and Fitch. It's really nothing fancy. And it's just the reason why I sell those brands is because they're easy to find. So that being said, I want 200 sales a day with $10 average profit per item. Of course, that's easier said than done. You may want to make $1,000 per week. So that's pretty straightforward. You need 100 eBay sales per week at $10 profit each. So I'm just going to write that in here. You may want to make the proverbial 1K a week profit. So that's 100 items times $10 profit per week. That's your goal. That's your North Star. Okay. My personal goal is to do 200 eBay sales per day. So when you set exciting goals, it keeps you on track. That's what I have seen. People who say, I want to just get by, end up broke because it's not very exciting. Just getting by will not get you out of bed. It will not get you disciplined. It will not get you motivated to put the work in. That's not worth it, right? It's not worth it to put this much work into a store and just get by. Try to make it so that you're making substantial income. So for me, I personally would like my eBay income to each month to exceed my annual expenses. Why not? Why not set a goal? It's actually exciting. So you have to know your monthly nut in order to come up with that. So for me, I want to give you guys an example because I would love to learn more about personal finance because I consider my family financially illiterate. Okay, so I come from a family that, my parents, the last time I talked to them, they asked me for gas money. Okay, they were financially illiterate and in debt their entire lives. I do not want to be in that situation. So I want to teach myself personal finance the best I can. I'm going to throw some of that into this channel. So feel free to let me know what I could do better. This channel is not me preaching to you what I think is good. It's just what I personally do. You can let me know if I'm doing something wrong. I would appreciate the feedback. Let me know in the comment section below. So here are my expenses. So this is something that I'm happy to share because I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are. And it's important to figure out what your bills are because then you actually know what freedom costs. So this is pretty much the lifestyle that I want to live. I would like to max out my 401k. So that's $19,500. So that's $1,625 per month that goes into that bucket. I invest $6,000 a month into index funds. And I'd like to do that over the course of the next 10 years because if you do that, theoretically, if the market just yields its normal return, that's $1 million. I will have invested $720,000 into index funds. Hopefully, the stock market goes up for 10 straight years. Overall, because it's going to have some ups and downs, but at the end, hopefully, that $720,000 is $1 million. Housing costs pretty straightforward. Mortgage, property tax. I have a big chunk of my monthly nut is actually insurance. So medical insurance, home insurance, additional property insurance. For my eBay store, in full transparency, I use my homeowner's insurance to cover my inventory because it's difficult to get inventory on brand new items. So personally, that's what I do. I have two-way insurance, which is kind of unnecessary because I drive an '09 Prius, and I could just write a check if that car blows up. But I just have two-way insurance because I've been in an accident before, and I like Geico, and I'm not sponsored by them. They just took care of me, so I like that company. So I have the roadside assistance that's built into that for $47.70. I have dental vision, we have legal insurance, and then life insurance. I recommend 10 times your income because that's what Dave Ramsey says. Not that I'm like a huge Dave Ramsey fan or anything, but I like that concept of being covered. If you have debt, add that to that. So debt plus 10 years of income, that should set your family up in case you get hit by a bus. That's just the reality that could happen to us any time of the day. You get hit by a bus or struck by lightning. So I want to set up stuff for my family. Obviously you can't replace you, but you can add in a little bit of financial help in case something happens to you. Currently I'm driving 650 miles per month. I have no car bill. We used to spend $30 a month on public transportation, but because we live in a city, I'm in the Bay Area, Oakland. We used to go to San Francisco for fun, but now we don't do that because of the current situation. So I just added that $30 of public transportation into a little bit more gas. So we are driving around because outdoor stuff is okay, but we really don't drive more than 1,000 miles per month right now because my commute to work is only 1 mile. Okay, so not spending a lot there. Maintenance. I am currently changing my own oil because I think it's fun. DMV registration, I have no car payment, and my car depreciates $500 a year, but that doesn't actually cost me any money. But I threw that in there because if you guys know me from my other videos, I used to sell cars, so I know a lot about car ownership and kind of how silly it is because people spend so much money on their car, and you can see here I spend about $150 a month on my car, including the car insurance. Car insurance is $47 of the $150. It's like the biggest, other than gas. Insurance is my second biggest expense with that, and that's with the perfect record. So also I pay the family cell phone bill. Our grocery bill and eating out is $500 per month. We travel for free because there's so many expenses with eBay that our travel cards have so many points that all lodging and airfare is free. So we just save up $4,800 a year to spend on travel, meals, whatever. That's what we spend when we're on the road. We normally spend about 2 months a year on vacation. So this is like my ideal lifestyle. Travel 2 months out of the year, travel, be frugal the rest of the year, try to invest most of my money into something that hopefully will help me out for retirement because I've chosen the path of entrepreneurship. So I have to make enough money to take care of my family on my own for the most part. So this is my budget, which ends up adding up to $4,544 a month or $54,538 a year. So my personal income goal, $54,538 per month. I would like to just work 1 month and I could potentially take off the next 12 years, right? That's an exciting goal. Whether or not I actually hit it, it's kind of negligible because my nut is so low compared to my income because I really am reinvesting everything back into my store. To give you an idea of how insane that is, right now, 13,000 items. I put the work in, guys. I hand selected all 13,000 items, and I'll tell you my average cost of goods is under $4. So I really spent maybe, it's actually way less than $4, but let's just say it's like $50,000 to $60,000 for $234,000 plus shipping is what the amount is in my store. And I like to price my items competitively, so I'm not trying to home run everybody. I'm not trying to home run anybody because I feel like if you take the majority of Americans, they can't even pay a $600 emergency bill. So why would you sell? I want a lot of customers. I want thousands of customers per month. In my ultimate eBay store, I would have 6,000 customers per month. So 6,000 customers, I got to have a lot of cheap goods for them because not everybody is killing it right now. In fact, a lot of people just living off unemployment. So this is the store. Common items, and I wanted to let you guys know that I updated the ledger that I made. So the ledger is now much more simple. So if you're in the Facebook group, you get this for free, or you could buy my reseller field guide, which is $35 with code YouTube in the description below. And it comes with my full course on how I do things. I just updated this a couple of days ago. So I will put the link in the Facebook group right now. But essentially, if you buy my course or you join the Facebook group, you get this ledger for free. And I made a 4-step system. It's pretty easy. You add in your, actually, I'm sorry, this is the old version. Let me go back here. I put all of the previous versions in here as well. So essentially, you make a copy of this spreadsheet. So make a copy. After you make a, after you make a copy, after you make a copy, you add in your revenue. You make each month, whatever platforms you are, just figure out what the total deposits are. You log all your expenses for each month. Done. It's going to pop out how much profit and loss you have and how much pre-tax earnings you're subject to. And remember, you are subject to self-employment tax as well if you work for yourself. So pretty straightforward. Back to the eBay store. I want to make sure that you guys remember 0 unanswered messages, 0 unanswered questions, 0 open offers. So when I click here on the open offers, there are no open offers, I don't think. Yeah, so I don't have any open offers. I don't have any offers to watchers. Actually, let me just check that real quick. I do. I have 5 offers to watchers. At the end of the day, I have like 300 of these. So I just send it out once a day. So in the last few minutes, 5 other people looked at these items. So I could just click on this button right here, send them an offer. I like to send between 5 and 50% depending on what it is. So 5% offer, send it out to them. You can clear that out. I recommend once or twice a day. Don't sit by your computer and waste time sending offers to watchers. Use that time to list more items. Let's go to my shipping. I have 0 unshipped items, and I ship, currently sort of up to the end of the day because I have extra time. So I ship first thing in the morning and I ship towards the end of the day. So today I had $1,100 in sales, but I have only 37 items left to ship tomorrow. So I have a promotion where 2 items or more ship for $10 if you pay full price. I've been really enjoying that sale. I've been getting a lot of combined shipping deals, which is nice. I also earn typically a couple of bucks in profit. I'm sorry, not a couple of bucks, maybe $1 in profit if I get a combined shipment and it fits in a padded flat rate envelope. So I pay $7.76 and charge the customer $10. So after the dust settles, I have maybe $9 left. So that's kind of a little less than $9, but that's how I make $1 on shipping if somebody offers the combined shipping. But if you look at my items, I mean, Adriana Goldschmied is something maybe a little bit more difficult to find, but you can definitely find it. Adidas, cut from the cloth, American Eagle, Chaps Ralph Lauren, PacSun, Chico's, Express, Lane Bryant. I mean, these are not fancy brands. Okay, you can find these anywhere. So one thing I want to point out is I have a specific way that I list items. And I think this is important because I sort of get this question all the time, which is what is the easiest way to do this? I don't do the easiest way to do this. I sort of do the best way to do it, because the reason why I do it that way is because I want to crush my competition. I don't want to be like everybody else. So for me, I try to take the best photos I can. I edit all of my photos. Some people only edit the first photo. I edit all of my photos because I want to be better than the rest. I take pictures of the front and the back. I try to take detailed pictures. I take a picture of the tag. I take a picture of the content to let people know what it is. I measure the item. I write the best title I can. I put in as many keywords as I can. I price competitively. I have free returns. I have a little blurb talking about the item. I have promoted listings. I have promotions in my store. I do every single thing you can. I try to fill out as many item specifics as I can because I want to do the maximum to give the customer the best opportunity to buy from me. Okay, I don't do the minimum effort because I'm not doing this. That's just not my style. I don't want to do the minimum. I want to do the most possible things I can do because the customer can't actually touch this item. Okay, so you have to essentially trust me on what the condition of the item is. I put the measurements right here in the condition description because I want people to read it on their phone. So if you were to pull up your mobile device and look at my store, you can actually see the measurements. So actually help me out, because there's so many people who look at my store and don't buy anything. It actually hurts my metrics. So when you stop by my store, I recommend you buy something. That way my metrics are more normal. Buy yourself a shirt or a pair of pants. Those are the two categories that I really am focusing on. One thing that's pretty cool is when you're as consistent as I am, the lowest day I've had in the last 30 days is $1,073. So if you're really, really consistent, your eBay is going to reward you with consistent traffic. So imagine you study eBay, you get really good at it, you list for a couple of years, and on a bad day you still earn $1,000. Can't really beat that. I don't know any other businesses where you could just put the work in and get these kinds of results. So let's look at a few other things. I recommend that you have 0 open cases. So I actually do have a couple of cases open right now. 2 cases that are open, both because of shipping. So here's an example. Here's a Merrill jacket that I sold to Utah. So I'm not sure why this only sold for $8, but sold for $8. If I look at the tracking, due to severe weather, packages may be delayed. This shipped out of my other location a week ago and still hasn't moved. Okay, so I might lose this and have to eventually ask eBay for some goodwill to try to get my money back. But you want to deal with everything that you can up front. Don't have any open cases, because these kinds of things can hurt your metrics. So this lady, I'll probably have to refund her for this jacket. This is another reason why I like having a cost of goods sold of under $4 or $5, because that means when I refund an item, that's the most that I lose, just the shipping and the cost of the item, which is fairly cheap. When you're selling brand new items, I've played that game before, it's a lot more expensive, and it hurts a lot more when you have a return. So next would be the offers to watchers. We talked about this earlier. Make sure you close this out. Let's see, what else do I have? Let's look at the feedback. So I think I had this pulled up earlier. I did. Okay, so earlier I had 2 negative feedbacks. So occasionally I get negative feedback because that is just what happens when you do a little bit of volume. You want to make sure you take care of it as soon as you can. Now I had to learn that even this year. This year I've gotten 19 negative feedback. I've had 12 revised from we worked it out with the customer, and then there's 7 that's still stuck. I'm totally down to admit my faults. The reason why I got those negative feedback is because I lost the item. So you can see here, this one, a lady said, smells moldy, buy new, not used, rude seller, beware. This lady actually ordered it by mistake. She said that her daughter ordered it, or I'm not sure whatever reason she ordered it. That wasn't the reason. So when I asked eBay about it, they just removed that feedback. So that one went away right away because it wasn't even related. It might have been related to a different transaction, because that's not even related to the reason why she left me a negative feedback. The other one, this one, I don't know what happened with this order, but it didn't actually it didn't scan. So it did not scan. It got accepted late, and this customer opened up an item not received. So I actually already refunded this gentleman. So he'll be getting his money back, and he'll get the item for free. So I'll probably message him in a few days and say, hey, do you mind giving me, do you mind paying me for this vest that you got? Or do you want to revise your feedback? But again, I don't have to have him revise his feedback in a couple of days. This feedback will just fall off. So again, own your faults, know where you're at. I still have other negative feedback. Here we see this lady said, lied to over and over again, refund received, bad seller. I didn't lie to her. I did not know where the package was. And the package never ended up showing up. So it's interesting when you look at people's feedback, you can kind of get an idea of, what it is that they do wrong. This is pretty straightforward. This lady said that there was a hole in the item and reached out and was ignored. This is interesting because I have free shipping. She could have just returned the item and gotten her money back. But instead, she would have rather leave a negative feedback than to get a refund. So again, I'm not pretending to be a perfect seller. I'm not. I have defects, and I'm trying to reduce them to as little as possible. And this is part one. Part one is establishing a baseline. Reset to 0. Open. Make sure that you have no unanswered messages, no unanswered questions, no open offers, no offers to watchers. Maintain 0 cases closed against you. So down here in the seller metrics, you can see here, I don't have any defects. There's no reason to have any defects. If something is wrong, just refund your customer. Back in the day, in December, I wasn't having every single package scanned. So you can see my tracking uploaded on time is kind of low. It's 97.8. Some people obviously are in the 100% range, but I'm not that high. So I'm working on improving this. Still managed to make top rated. I've got 0.37% late shipment rate. But remember, try to keep your defect rate 0. That will affect your your traffic. So make sure you keep your defect rate as low as possible. I think that's all of the zeros. Then one last thing that I want to mention. The last thing I want to mention is that in tomorrow's episode, we're going to be talking about auditing your time. How much time do you spend buying stuff, detagging it, measuring it, describing it, staging it, photographing it, packing it away, putting supplies away, buying supplies? How much time do you take to ship items? Are you driving to the post office? Do you have any virtual assistants you work with? All of that good stuff we're going to be talking about in episode number 2, part 2 of my 9-part series on building your ideal resale business. If you guys need more live help, join the Facebook group. It's at patreon.com/the resellers podcast. We have 5 coaches. The Posh Hanger, who's a full-time reseller on eBay and Amazon. We have Tech and Sports, who is a multi-million-dollar seller in a whole bunch of different and has other businesses as well. Jack, who's a 7-figure seller on just Amazon FBA. Ashley, Hustle Home Mom, who does 6 figures on eBay, Amazon, and YouTube. So between the 5 of us, we know, I don't want to say we know everything, but we know a lot about e-commerce. So hop in the group. It's $35 a month. If for some reason you don't see the value, we'll give you your money back. We'll see you guys in the group. We'll see you next time. Make progress daily.